I swear to you, all of these are serious and something I obtained at one or more times in my life. Some of my descriptions may also be unsettling, so proceed with caution. Before we get into it, let me just talk about today's speed paint for a second. I completely forgot to record lines, so I decided to record all the color. I color in 2 batches, skin and hair, and then the rest of the main color. Unfortunately, when I was recording the main color, I ran out of storage, so it's only the skin and hair coloring today. Hi, I'm Morgan, and I'm a walking hazard. I have this fun game I play with my friends where I talk about how stupid of an injury I gather. I've, of course, regular injured myself, but that's not as fun of a story time, especially since it's nothing spectacular. It's the usual. I shouldn't be trusted around X-Acto knives, hot glue guns, scissors, etc. I've fallen off of scooters, bikes, and I nearly broke my ankle falling off of a scooter into a rock pit. One of my friends can attest to that. We were in French class and everyone had to line up to me still sitting at my desk with my ankle elevated because it hurt all day. I also have a special talent for finding broken glass. My brother dropped a plate a few weeks ago and a week later I found the one small piece he hadn't swept up. Happens pretty much constantly. I've had a hole in the bottom of my foot for months, I think because I stepped on a piece of glass. Don't worry about it. With a pair of scissors, tweezers, and nail clippers, the hole was dealt with. This video is basically going to go in order of hilarity. The stupider the injury, the later on the list. I'm going to be starting with the thumbnail story because I'm not going to drag you out for this probably 10-minute video for what isn't so interesting of a story. I just think it's funny. It's also really the only story. The others are stupid injuries with a touch of preamble. This is just how I, somehow, live. So I live in Colorado. I'm quite open about that. Colorado equals snow. I've had my fair share of falling on my ass. I walked to my astronomy class and fell on my ass heading there, and went back to my dorm 50 minutes later and fell on my ass walking back. One day, heading back from a class, it's probably 10 degrees Fahrenheit and my winter gear is exclusively the snow boots I wear. I'm listening to music on the $20 JLab earbuds I'd gotten at the Walmart because those were the only Bluetooth earbuds not locked behind a case of any kind, meaning I didn't have to talk to anyone. It probably had snowed like the week before. My college town would get cold and stay cold, and they didn't do anything to melt any of the ice or make it easier to walk on after the first rock scattering. So I'm really good at falling. I've never severely injured myself. Arguable, not gonna lie, my ankles still hurt from various minor injuries years ago. Bare minimum though, I've never broken a bone. On this day in particular, I took a nosedive. That doesn't happen to me often. So I face planted into the ice and snow. Mind you, this was after class, so it was probably something like 11:50, a time where folks are coming back from class and others are heading to their class. So I face plant into the snow. One of my earbuds pops out. I keep my music super loud. We'll probably go deaf in a few years. They basically made me fake a hearing test in high school because they held me for 15 to 30 minutes to get it done and hear the last tone. One of my earbuds is still playing. The other is in the snow. Lots of people just saw me faceplant. I feel someone hovering and I think they were asking if I was okay, seeing as I just fucking faceplanted. What am I doing? Looking for my missing earbud. I'm so focused that I'm drowning out whatever's going on around me. So I have a scrape on my face. It's probably 10 degrees and I'm wearing shorts, short sleeves, and snow boots. And with my gloved hands, I'm scooping through the snow for my missing earbud. You wanna know something? Those earbuds still work. That's right. My digging wasn't for nothing. My ignoring the nice folks around me wasn't for nothing. The $20 earbuds from Walmart still work. I actively use them to this day, and it's been over a year. That thing fell into like a foot of snow almost. I probably looked a little nuts. I faceplanted, ignored anyone asking if I needed help, dug through the snow, and was inappropriately dressed for the weather. I'm sorry, but 10 degrees in the college town was like 60 degrees here at home. I no longer own jeans. I do not get cold. So yeah, JLab. $20. Very good, plain, cheap earbuds. Last to fall into a foot of snow. Now for the miscellaneous weird injuries that mostly just need an explanation for how the hell it was possible. Let's see. Let's start simple. I cut myself on the couch. That one mostly just sounds funny at first until you think about how some couches are set up. It was a loose wire of some kind because the couch was old and falling apart. A really talented one was the time I cut my knee on the microwave door handle. So in my dorm, I had the microwave on my mini fridge. It's a really nice mini fridge that we bought ourselves, so it's like double the size of a regular mini fridge. Had the capacity to also have a freezer, but unfortunately didn't. But I set my microwave on it and put it behind my bed. So it was against the corner, my bed frame just to the side of it, and my desk was nearby. When I'm waiting for something to cook, I do do something stupid while I wait. At home, I tend to dance. In my dorm, I'd kind of just stand and put my legs on whatever and kind of stretch. Either way, this time I had my foot resting on the bed frame, so my leg was up. I'd done it a few times, so I'd let my legs stay up while I messed with my food. For whatever reason, something was peeling or stuck to the lower part of the microwave door handle. It was sharp. So I rushed to open the door, probably so my food didn't boil over, and it ended up making a thin 3-inch cut across my upper leg. So, as I said, I tell these stupid things to my friends. There was apparently a time I cut myself on the bathroom door at my dorm. I'm not even sure what happened, but I remember those doors being crappy. So it doesn't surprise me in the least. A not so fun piece. So this is just barely visible in my studio vlog, but I have a rainbow organization cart. You may have noticed that the side was covered by some fabric. That's mainly to stop the cats from reaching over because I used to keep their treats in one of the middle shelves. None of them were ever harmed, don't worry, and when I reorganized the thing, the treats got put into a compartment they can't smell or reach. That cart is fine, but the compartments fall from the sides and I have to fix them often. So, the sides that hold each shelf up, metal. Long story short, soaked through a band-aid. So yeah, half the reason the cover is there so I don't do it again. Why? Because I literally forgot this happened until I went looking for stupid stories I've told my friends. Okay, back to the weird ones. A command hook. Mind you, those things are actually something I consider Morgan-proof. Yes, I do judge items like this. The edges are quite rounded off. I've never had troubles with them aside from this one time, so it was one of those heavier duty ones. Those two-parters where you can take the hook off the part that you put the sticky piece on. So how did this otherwise Morgan-proof thing cut me? Force. I'm usually quite careful about making sure these things come off without issue. This time, it just slipped from my fingers and slammed into my thumb. It was actually a very small cut, but the area felt like it was gonna bruise. Before I get into the final bit, here's a couple fun facts about me. First of all, you remember in elementary to middle school when everyone had mechanical pencils and you'd push out a bunch of the graphite and pretend it was a needle going into you? Wanna know what stuck in my left foot? That's right, a small piece of graphite. I can find it and point it out instantly. Every time. Secondly, I have a small and disturbing party trick. I discovered this during gym class. We were doing push-ups and I eventually noticed that in my left wrist there was a small bubble that hadn't been there before. I pressed on it and it felt like a bunch of squishy bubbles popped at once. I pressed down on the floor again and the bubbles came back. I can still do this, but I've gotten good at just squeezing it out with my other wrist. I've done this with a few people and let them press down on it and they all make disgusted noises. If you have any idea what that is, I'd like to know. I just haven't been to a doctor anytime recently to ask about it. If you ever spot me, feel free to ask about it. I'll let you know if it ever disappears, but yeah, it's fucking weird. Final thing, apparently when I was like 3, I smashed my right ring finger into the garage door. It ripped the nail up at the back and the doctor said there was a chance I'd beat the odds and my fingernail would grow back. It did, but it's funky and I hate it. It would have been better if it just didn't grow back at all, honestly. And then I would have had a freakish story about how I lost my fingernails when I was 3 instead of this weird ass fingernail. We're at the tail end of the weird stories I remember. This next one though, this is the one that really needed the disclaimer at the beginning about me not kidding. This is why I wanted to talk about my weird injuries. Because if this isn't weird, I don't know what is. I'm just gonna out and say it, and then get into how it happened. I've cut myself on my toilet seat. Twice. I'm not kidding. It was the palm of my hand. Don't remember if it was both or just one. And I did it twice. It just randomly happened on the edge of the underside of the seat while I was cleaning. So it happened through a cleaner soaked paper towel or a bleach wipe both times. And, not gonna lie, I was quite close to doing it for a 3rd time last week. So yeah, I'm a klutz. I'm clumsy. I'm the most YN that's ever YN'd. Just point me in the direction of my billionaire vampire CEO girlfriend and we'll be golden. Got another Minecraft video for you next week. Episode 2 of Let's Build. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.